Welcome to the Funky Podcast, Simon.
Good afternoon. On the first day of summer.
Fantastic. Well, we are the taste of summer after all, so that's quite appropriate, really.
Actually, very true. Good, refreshing drink for those hot, sweaty days.
Exactly. You know, some people said to me the other day, like the mango flavour is just absolutely superb. And I'm like going, well, it's the taste of summer. And they're like, really? And I said, well, it is now. You know, so
yes, and it's the official taste of summer.
Can I show you my pièce de la résistance that I've done? Right. What do you think? Do you like my scrolling banner? I feel like we're on Sky Sports News now.
Ooh, look at that. Just
Yeah,
packed full of goodness and information, just like Dr. Fuck.
My goodness, yeah. What a segue that is. That's fantastic. Have you been doing this a long time?
No. This is actually, I think, my first ever podcast. And as I think you well aware, when we very first met, I was a complete and utter Luddite when it came to technology.
I was wondering what you were going to say then. It could have been any word at the end of that sentence.
No, because it's public, I'm being very polite.
Good. And I hope that should long may it continue. So when we met quite a long time ago now, didn't we?
It was, good God, it was 2000. It's got to be over 10, 14 years ago. Yes. At the Duke's Hotel on the corner of Jermyn Street in St. James's.
Duke's Hotel. Oh, see, you meet a nice, class of person there, don't you? So what were we doing there? How did we get in?
We were, if I remember rightly, it was a London Chamber of Commerce drinks get together, and I was one of the ambassadors for the London Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
I thought you were going to say I was one of the ambassadors for the drinks.
No. In those days, I was in a completely unrelated industry. I think was probably the polite way of putting it.
Okay, that's good. So we met at the bar, didn't we?
Yeah, yes, I think. Well, not wanting to sort of make very, very probably. And in fact, we were introduced by Stephen.
We were.
And I remember thinking to myself, now here's a man I can go and have a drink with.
Oh, fantastic! And I think it's fair to say you've had one or two drinks since.
It would be churlish of me to contradict you on that one. What an amazing number of years it's been. I mean, with Spain, Mexico,
China.
China. We've certainly been to we've sort of Antigua, Malta. We've been around, had a number of drinks in a number of exotic locations.
We have all for the benefit of work.
And surprising, folks, believe it or not, they were all for work. Not one of them was a jolly.
I think one or two might have been a jolly, but most
Antigua was the only jolly. Seville, Malaga, Valencia, Guangzhou. Malta, they were all work.
They were all work, has to be said. Yeah, absolutely right. So did you sort of look at me and go, well, you know what, let's start a drinks company?
Honestly, it's probably the furthest thing from my mind. As I said, I mean, we got chatting. I thought we got on extremely well, and I thought, here's a man I'd like to go and have a drink with. And here we are, whatever it is, 10, 14 years later, with a drinks company.
Well, exactly.
Is that taking the initial thought to the extreme one has to pass?
And so, to be fair, we've been working on these drinks for quite a while now, haven't we? I mean, can you remember the first time, the year that you thought we could do with drinks? Not just you and me, but you personally. When did you start the whole kind of journey?
I mean, I started the whole journey. It's got to be 6-7 years ago when I set up those meetings for you in your previous vocation with the government out in the Balkans.
Oh, yeah. God, blimey.
Yeah. And it was really from those meetings that we then got to meet the variety of different people in the different industries. And
but you'd already started putting the drinks together then, hadn't you?
No, I started putting the drinks together on about a couple of months later because of the people I'd met during that visit.
Interesting.
And it took
That's amazing.
yeah. It was quite. There was a hefty degree of lateral thinking along the way.
That's fantastic. It's amazing. Well, I think we should go through all that in more detail as we go through our little
definitely.
Series. But I think, essentially what I think we should be doing is doing this like on a sort of weekly basis, just to kind of give an update and have a bit more of an insight into how Dr. Funk kind of came along and started, and you and I.
Yeah, I think how Dr. Funk, was conceived, how Dr. Funk was born, and the sort of, the journey that we have gone through to the growing up process, which, let's be honest with you, I think you and I have done quite a bit of growing up in the last year and a half.
Speak for yourself, I've lost my lockdown weight now, thank you.
I'm losing weight, excuse me. But I think, it's, I think there's some really exciting times coming up, and there's some great fun things coming up that really we let's spread a bit of joy.
Well, absolutely. I think, for me, certainly coming from the advertising marketing side of the fence to being the kind of client side of the fence, being an incredible kind of learning journey, and just learning and understanding about the drinks industry and the way in which that works has been eye-opening. And we've got many stories to tell about all that, don't we, Simon? So we look forward to revealing all of those. But in terms of Dr. Funk today, what's been your kind of funky moment of the week? What's been your highlight of the week so far?
Gosh, I suppose there's been a few, as we've discussed, but I think for me, one of the really big things is, to steal your thunder, the fact that we have signed off on the artwork of direct print to can. And I think that's going to be, that's going to open a lot of new avenues for us because of the ecological, impact, etc., etc. And also, I just think, from an aesthetic point of view, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love that. And what about you? What's been your highlight, young man?
Well, to just finish up on that, I think I said to you a while ago, success for me was getting to direct print. The volume increase and step change to be able to go from where we currently are to be able to get to direct print is a huge achievement. And considering we knew relatively little about the drinks industry per se, to be able to do that after such a short period of time is pretty amazing. And actually, I'm really looking forward to going out next week to see the production line running with our lovely new cans flying off of them, and that's going to be superb and open up many new avenues, as you well know.
Yeah. I think I'm really excited about that, and I think for us as well, it's the next stage in us growing up. Going from the shrink wrap to direct to print because of the quantities we have to print. It's great.
It's fantastic. Well, my funky moment of the week probably is, apart from the signing off all the artworks, etc., and going out next week, is having a lovely chat with Scoot up in the Shetland Islands, up in Lerwick. And so Dr. Funk is on sale throughout the entire UK, we can say now. So we were with, the furthest south that I'm aware of has been St. Austell, down in Cornwall. Maybe we're further south, I'm not entirely sure. But Lerwick will probably be as north as we can get in the United Kingdom. So,
well, it is. The Shetlands are the northernmost part of the British Isles. Exactly. The only other place we could go further than that would be a British ship in the Arctic or Antarctica in the Arctic.
In the Arctic. Well, I don't think we can go much further. Yeah, we can't go any further north, so we'll have to be on a ship. Okay, well, maybe our lovely friends at Brakes can get us into cruise ships, and we can circumnavigate the globe then. That would be good, wouldn't it? So
that would be the first string to circumnavigate the globe.
Exactly. The only other thing really I'd say from this week is, our Instagram is now really up and running. So we're broke through the 2,000 follower barrier, very quick time. And we're heading up towards our kind of target, which is 10,000 as our initial target. And I think we'll get there pretty quickly now. So all fuel to our fire and onwards and upwards.
I think so. I absolutely think so. I think there's really, really exciting times ahead for us as individuals and as a company.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's cool. It's good. I think we're all, it's really rocking. And I said to somebody the other day, I think we're in a bit of the kind of the lull before the storm, the calm before the storm. And it really feels like we're about to head into some pretty choppy waters, which will be fun and exciting, but we're going to grow hugely, I believe.
I think so. I think so. I think, I think Dr. Funk is really going to go places. I think it's got a really stellar future, but I think it's got an exciting future because we
made it, Simon, because we made it.
But we made it, but it's fun. But the flavor combinations we have are very different. The whole, it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's great.
Maybe that's what we should chat about next week. The flavors and things like that, because they are pretty amazing. And I think we're sort of out of time. We said we'd aim at about 10 minutes to kick off with. As usual, you've talked too much. So should we sign off and say see you next week?
See you next week, folks. And as what was it? Jimmy Durante used to say, and good night to you, Mrs. Calabash.
Oh, I didn't know that. There's the Morecambe, the two Ronnies. Good night from him and good night.
Good night from him. Yeah.
Righty, guys. I will see you very soon, Simon. Have a good weekend.